Are you struggling to serialize a list of strings in Django Rest Framework? You're not alone. Many developers face this challenge, and today we're going to solve it together. I totally get it. You've created a new endpoint called installed apps, and you want to return a list of installed apps as strings. It can be frustrating when things don't work as expected, especially when you're used to model serializers. Here's the specific situation. One user asked how to return a list of strings for their installed apps. They shared their code, but they keep running into errors. Sound familiar? Let's dive into the solution. So what could be going wrong? It seems like the user is trying to use a serializer incorrectly. Understanding how to structure your serializers is key to resolving this issue. And stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear solution and a better understanding of how to work with serializers in Django Rest Framework. To return a list of strings in Django Rest Framework, the user should start by creating a serializer that can handle a list of strings. This can be done by using the list field provided by the framework. Next, the user needs to modify the view set to utilize the serializer correctly. In the list method, the user should directly return the list of installed apps without wrapping it in another serializer. Now, the user should ensure that the response is serialized properly. Instead of using the serializer class directly in the view, the user can serialize the data right before returning it. Finally, the user should test the endpoint to confirm that it returns the expected list of installed apps. They can do this by sending a GET request to the installed apps endpoint. Fun fact, did you know that Django was created to help developers build web applications faster? And here we are, making it even easier with the Django Rest Framework. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests using a serializer to handle the list of strings. They recommend creating a serializer class that utilizes list serializer with char field as the child. This approach effectively serializes the list of installed apps. That's all on that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative approach suggests that the errors you're encountering may be resolved by basing your serializer on a serializer class instead of a serializer field. The user points out that list field is not intended to be used as a serializer. Instead, they recommend defining your installed app serializer as a standard serializer. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. An alternative approach suggests checking the response content for errors. If you're using the installed apps view set, you can print the response content after sending the request to see any error messages. Here's a pro tip. Always ensure your serializers match the data structure you're working with. This will save you a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. With these adjustments, you should be able to serialize your list of strings without any errors. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks.